Hey everybody, I'm Sam Haymart and you're watching Growing Older Gay. This is Kitchen Table for February 7th, 2025. And so this is our weekly check-in where I tell you what's going on at my kitchen table as well as what I'm hearing from the kitchen tables around my LGBT fishbowl. And so there's a lot of stuff going on this week and we'll get to some of the highlights. First of all, I want to sort of do some housekeeping. I was sitting at my 3-month PrEP doctor appointment where I get tested every 3 months for HIV and other STIs as a condition of my PrEP regimen that I'm on. And I was sitting there and the doctor says, hey, while you're here, would you like to have your flu shot and your COVID shot? And I was kind of like, yes. I didn't really want to, but I mean, you got to do it, right? So I had both in my arm over here shots for that yesterday. So I feel like I got punched in the arm this morning, but more than that, I'm feeling that kind of funky kind of wonkiness that comes with starting to get the flu. And that's one of the reasons I wasn't relishing the idea of getting a flu shot, because almost every time I do, I feel like I have the flu for almost a week. I might as well, for all intents and purposes, have it. So that's where I'm at today. I just, if I were to go to the gym today, which I'm not because I'm working, if I were to do that, I would really feel it right there in that arm. So today, a couple of topics to really touch on. We can't go through this, unfortunately, without talking about Shit Show 2025. We're in week 3 officially, and it's been a really rough week. It's been a rough week in a lot of ways. You know, honestly, the weight of that, I had to sort of take my own advice in one of our videos that we've been doing, the Surviving Anti-LGBT Politics videos that we're doing. I had to sort of take my own advice and turn the news off for a day or two, because the weight of it and the negativity and just the feeling of doom that comes with really realizing a lot of what's going on just finally got to me a little bit. And I just had to kind of go, okay, all right, just get on to other things, do some fun stuff, do some self-care. And so I've done that this week. But I will share you that it has been heartening to see that around the country midweek, we had a lot of uprise and protests. There was a big organized sort of nationwide protest movement, the 50 states, 50 protests. And there were a lot more than that in some of the smaller markets and towns in some of the states where there are bigger cities. There were protests everywhere of people that were sort of pushing back and protesting not only just immigration, but some of the other things that have been going on in Washington. And so it was heartening a little bit to see that there's finally some voices standing up and speaking up. Some of the politicians that have some power, maybe not as much as we like, but they have some power to do something. And they're finally starting to wake up and do something because for the first couple of weeks, it was like, is not anybody going to do anything? Are we not saying anything about this? Are we just letting this happen? I'm hopeful that this will continue to rise and we have a chance of pushing back on a lot of these things. You know, one of the ways that I like to feel like I'm doing something, even though I've been doing a lot of these things for a while, is I like to volunteer and stay involved with my community in a number of different ways. And one of the things that I do above and beyond my day job is that I participate with a local charity organization here in Phoenix called RipplePHX. And what they do is they offer free HIV testing at different events around the city, weekly and monthly. And they offer HIV services and services navigation sort of for getting PrEP and DoxyPEP and some of the other things like that. So if somebody tests positive for HIV, they can immediately help them get the type of services that they need to treat that. And if they don't test positive, then they can say, well, are you on PrEP? Would you like to be on PrEP? What about DoxyPEP? And these are all things that enable people to take these medications and prevent themselves from becoming infected with either HIV or other STIs. So that's a group that I am very involved with. And I mention this because they put out some great photography and artwork this week that I just thought would be fun to share that make me look kind of good. One of the events that I do, these are a lot of the advertising pieces that they put together for that. And so it made me smile. It was kind of a highlight of my week this week to go to our monthly meeting and see all of this great artwork they put together, not only with me included, but some of the other beautiful people that are part of this organization. And it's something I'm very proud of. I'm proud to do the work with this organization. And the great thing is almost every big city across the country has a like organization. And so there are ways for all of us to get involved with our community. There are. And it doesn't have to be something like this that's just right out in your face gay. There are a lot of service organizations and things that we can do, political organizations on the local level that we can get involved with in some way, shape, or form to be effective in helping our cause overall. Yeah, that's just something I wanted to share because it was a fun element of it for me this week. And since I did mention it more than once or twice, I am on PrEP, and I always like to sort of be an advocate for that. If you're somebody who is out there having sex and maybe you don't have protected sex, or maybe you don't like protected sex, a lot of us don't like condoms, right? There's a way to protect yourself. And if you're not aware, most people are, but there is PrEP. And a lot of people, when I talk to them out there, you know, there's still people that don't necessarily know about it, or they think there's side effects that are bad or whatever, or that it's expensive. The fact of the matter is that PrEP is almost free these days. Insurance covers it in most cases, at least right now, and Medicaid covers it at least right now. But even if none of that were true, it's come down to about $30 a month if you're just paying out of pocket. And that to me is, I mean, that's less than a phone bill. That's less than a cable bill. The ability to go out and safely have sex at will and not worry about contracting HIV or getting it to somebody else. And so that is a major thing that I really like to talk about and that I advocate for, because it's taking care of you, but it's also taking care of the people that you interact with. So it works both ways. And then there's also DoxyPEP, which is a medication that you can take after the fact if you've had sex with somebody and you feel the need to protect yourself from STIs like chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis. It's very effective at knocking those down before they get started in your body after you've been exposed to those things. And so basically, if you go out and have a sex romp, or maybe with just one person or lots of people, you just take this within 24 to 72 hours after, or how your doctor tells you. And it's very effective. A lot of people are finding that it's a good thing. And again, very inexpensive, not an expensive way to protect yourself. So there's my PSA for today. The other thing I want to talk about, and lastly, is cars. I love cars. I've been a car enthusiast all my life in so many ways I can't even talk to here. That'd be a whole hour. But I've been an automotive journalist for the past 20 years. I've got my other channel, Test Driven TV, which some of you have seen me on, a much, much bigger, highly traveled channel, more mainstream. It's not outwardly gay. In fact, most people up until recently didn't know I was even gay because that wasn't part of the show, right? I'm a car enthusiast. I'm talking about cars. But one thing I've always wanted to talk about are gay cars, because there are a lot of cars out there that are gay cars, right? She drives up in that. Yeah, she's gay, right? So I've always wanted to do a roundup of the latest gay cars. And so I have just put together a video for this channel called, Gay Cars 2025. And so basically down to a top 10 of all of the cars that fit into what are the latest, greatest gay cars. And so you can see that right there. And it's something fun. It's not politics. It's not heavy. Hopefully it'll give you a smile. But if you want the heavy politics, we've got our latest episode of Surviving Anti-LGBT Politics. Either way, I want you to stay tuned and please subscribe.